Coming up on Mountain News this morning, COVID-19 testing is ramping up across Kentucky, but in Harlan County, they're finding some of the necessities to do that are hard to come by. And we show you how those working with hospice patients and their families are helping ease the grief for families that go through an already hard time made harder by COVID-19. And in Pulaski County, one woman is churning out as many masks as she can as demand skyrockets after the governor's announcement earlier this week.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Wednesday, April the 29th, and the time is about 6:33. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Good morning, Brandon. We've almost made it to May, which I'm excited about because summer is just around the corner. But as for today, it looks like we just have another spring day on our hands with the showers in the forecast.
Yeah, that trend continues, and again, it's getting closer, the last day of April tomorrow, but unfortunately, one more cold front to get through until we get to May there on Friday. Let's take a look at our forecast this morning. Last few hours, satellite radar had been a little bit active, but not as active now as it was just a little while ago. We're starting to see some of those showers die off. Temperatures, though, very, very mild across the region for the most part. 60s for most folks up near the Kentucky, Virginia borders there. You're seeing Jonesville's at 52 and Wise at 55, still in the 50s here at the house as well. And I think on the mesonet sensor it was 59 a little earlier. Wind speed, it's coming in from the south and it's cranking in some locations. Look down toward Jacksboro there. Again, no major issues expected with that, just that warm air surging in ahead of that cold front. Your out the door forecast, we are going to see temperatures climb today. I think the high will be right around lunchtime. Some models trying to put it in the early afternoon. Regardless, it'll be about 73 as those showers pick up later this afternoon. The rest of the forecast on the way here in just a little bit. Katie?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, emergency rooms have been open throughout the spread of COVID-19, but they are facing an indirect issue from the virus. People not coming to the ER out of fear. At the ARH emergency room in Hazard, they say they have seen people wait for hours, even days, after experiencing something like a heart attack. Here, there are separate lobbies for people experiencing respiratory symptoms. They also screen you and take your temperature at the entrance. Emergency room staff say that it is crucial people who still need immediate medical attention get it.
But unfortunately, if you wait, the longer you wait, the more damaged heart muscle and the more recovery time is necessary for people to resume their normal function. And sometimes you never get back to your normal function.
Now, there are plenty of instances where telemedicine can be the answer, but for things like severe chest pain and kidney problems, they recommend you still come to the ER. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, the new normal can be hard for many people, including those who lose a loved one. WYMT's Madison Pergram explains how Bluegrass Care Navigators, who cares for hospice patients, is helping families during this time.
Their grief can be compounded. Losing a loved one is always difficult, but in a time when families and friends cannot gather to show their respects, the pain can build.
It may look a little different. We may have to show up at the door looking a little different, but we want them to know that we're still here and we'll continue to be here.
Helping families through this time is how the idea of compassion bags formed.
To come up with some information and some ideas, not to substitute, but to kind of give people ideas for what they could do now and what they might consider later.
The bags have several items, including a candle and a poem.
We considered that to be something kind of private, but something that was easily duplicated. So if you have a family that wants to participate, you can be in one location, someone you love can be in somewhere else, but you can be doing the same thing.
As part of the poem reads, "The seasons come and go, and I'm weary from the change."
It's a packet of forget-me-not seeds. We just thought about the spring being a season of renewal and resilience and how hopeful it is.
Items as small as ribbons help families know they're not alone.
The idea was to maybe put a wreath on your door or a plant at the cemetery and invite those people to show their sympathy by tying a ribbon on.
Something as simple as a white bag conveying one message.
That ongoing message of support and Hope.
Holding on and remembering the life and time they share with the ones they love so dear. In Perry County, Madison Program, WYMT Mountain News.
Bluegrass Care Navigators is accepting donations for their COVID-19 response, and we have a link to donate on our website, WYMT.com. Well, the new recommendation from Governor Beshear has many looking for masks. In Pulaski County, one woman is churning out as many masks as she can. Kayla Vincent runs an online shop selling t-shirts and other accessories, but says she noticed a need for masks when she would go out for essential errands and see workers without them. She recently began by using her leftover fabric, but demand quickly outpaced her supply. That is where family and friends stepped in to help, donating elastic, fabric, and other materials to her doorstep.
I ended up making 958 that I was able to donate with the donations and, all the stuff that people gave.
Gives one mask away to essential workers for every mask she sells on her website, but the price tag only covers the cost of shipping. Vincent says she has shipped her masks to more than 15 states and donated to 4 Kentucky hospitals. Well, the Whitley County Farmers Market had their opening day yesterday in Corbin, but had to follow CDC guidelines. Guidelines include 1 shopper per family, social distancing, and not touching items. Whitley County Farmers Market manager Andrew Modica was nervous he would not be able to open, but after being named essential, he is glad to see customers supporting local.
People want fresh produce, and it's less hands touching your produce because it comes straight from the farmer to you. We expected to only have a couple orders, but we're in the double digits. We got quite a bit of orders on that, so we're excited about that.
They also have a pre-order and curbside pickup option for those who still worry about being in public spaces. The market will be open every Tuesday from 5 until 8 p.m. at Nibrock Park. Well, hairstylists in Kentucky are still closed right now, but some are already planning how they will operate their business when they are allowed to open again. Since having to close, Dita Gregory has been keeping an eye out on cosmetology regulations and what other states like Georgia are doing to prepare. Wearing face masks, gloves, having clients take their temperatures when they walk in are all things she's expecting. And some solutions to distancing have her wondering how scheduling will be handled.
If you can't have more than 10 people in the salon at a time, then that's going to limit your staffing. So then you're going to have a staggered staff. Maybe somebody works Monday, Wednesday, Friday, somebody else does the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and do it that way. So at least you're back to working. Are you working at full throttle? No. Can you double book? No. But it's better than nothing, I guess.
This evening, the governor is expected to provide more details about the opening of more businesses and the gradual lifting of some restrictions. Now, as more testing is required to open Kentucky and businesses, one Harlan County doctor is doing what he can to play a part, but it's not going as smoothly as he would like. County Judge Executive Dan Mosley tells us that less than 1% of Harlan County's population has been tested for the coronavirus. WYMT's Will Puckett has more.
Scenes like this one.
We came up with the idea of having a drive-by system where we put a tent and we have staff in it, or we have the swabs. All you have to do is give us a call, tell him you're coming, we'll tell you when to come by.
And sentences like this.
Any fever, chills, cough, short of breath
are becoming more and more common across the Commonwealth.
Because people want to get the county back to work, and the only way we can get back to work, like the governor said, is to find out if they are sickness or not.
Dr. Abdul Dahan has provided COVID-19 testing for weeks, but this new setup streamlines the process to get more people through their system.
So we all want to get the system going, and it will be a win-win situation for everybody.
While swab testing is important, it is not the only type of testing Dr. Dahan has.
There is a antibody test that's available, and I have been using it as well, but it's not very well standardized.
That antibody test, while not exact, could be key in finding out more about the sickness in eastern Kentucky.
Back in December, going toward February, We got people sick as a dog, fever, chills, sore throat, cough, the whole gamut. The school kids, the teachers, I mean, everybody was sick. And like you said, strep negative, nasal negative, X-ray clear, but they're sick as a dog.
A sickness that some believe is peaking, but others believe may have already come. In Harlan, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Dr. DeHaan believes in a few more weeks that antibody testing will be more exact. In the meantime, he encourages everyone to be tested. County Judge Executive Dan Mosley is working to get more swabs so people will not have to drive hours away to get a rapid test.
Well, it's time now for the Wednesday edition of Helpers and Heroes segment. And of course, this is the segment we highlight those who are out there on the front lines helping others. Let's go to our first picture. And you see our first photo today was submitted by Alicia. This is her friend, Rebecca Doolin. Rebecca is a nurse who normally works in the surgery department of Barberville ARH, but since most those elective procedures were canceled, she's been working in the COVID-19 clinic. Alicia says she's thankful for her and for all of her hard work, and we are too. Our second picture comes to us from Barbara. She sent us this duo from Laurel County. This is Brandy Valentine and Brandon Buckner. They are both first responders with Ambulance Inc. in Laurel County. Barbara says she is proud of her daughter and son-in-law and of all the other members of the team down there in Laurel County. We thank all of our first responders out there on the front lines. And last but certainly not least, Hannah submitted this picture of her boyfriend, Seth Bentley. Seth is the funeral director and embalmer at Nelson Frazier Funeral Home. Let me get that right there in Martin. While Seth may not be as exposed to the virus as a lot of other folks we've showcased so far are, he has a tough job too, consoling families that can't get together in groups to grieve like they normally would. Seth, we salute you. And of course, you can always submit your folks that you want to see highlighted here on the air. And we appreciate all those submissions. And again, it's a wide range of things that you can submit to us. You can do that over on our website, WYMT.com. Just make sure you put the name, the location, and what they do there on that. You can search the Hero or Helpers and Heroes link. Katie?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Brandon. Well, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. We'll be right back with some of today's top stories.